Hi, Arnitha. How's it going? You're in England,
Hi,
right?
I'm in London, yes.
Amazing. Let me see. It looks cloudy. Yep.
The weather has been like, you wake up and it's sunny, midday it's cloudy, afternoon it may rain, and then and then you never know how it's gonna end.
How is it going from California to London? Like that
Well,
should
now
be hard.
I haven't been in California
Right.
since December. So before here I was in Austria,
Okay.
and then before Austria I was in Barcelona.
Yes. And it seems like just yesterday. That's why I said you just came from California. So for those of you that don't know, Arnitha is an international real estate and insurance expert. So she really helps folks like you want to buy a house in Spain. She's got her business on the ground
Yep.
there and
Hmm.
basically will be able to help you with that. And these
Hmm.
deals and like from the last summit, I don't know if anybody was on the last summit, go ahead and put me in the chat, but we did chat a little bit about, you can literally get like a villa it's kind of like, it's almost like a resort community. It is what I'm remembering. And you have a pool. Sometimes they have a restaurant and you can have a backyard, really big backyard. And it's only,
Yeah.
max 200,000.
It's so many new builds, and I really specialize in the new builds. And because I work with people who are planning this investment out, they can take advantage of a lot of the off-market rates. The off-markets are the ones that are scheduled to be built. So if you're not looking to have something finished for a couple of years, you can get the best deals. Um, and it's so many builds, new builds going on. And for whatever kind of lifestyle you want, if you want the villa, it's plenty of options available there. If you want the condominium, the resort style life, it's plenty of options there as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So kind of
Yeah.
give us a proper introduction. I mean, I know that you lived in Las Vegas and you had a successful insurance business over there, correct?
Hmm.
And you were
Yeah.
even recognized by Nevada governor's office as like a
Yeah.
local emerging business. So you have a lot of
Absolutely.
business experience and now you're also helping
Hmm.
people with the move abroad. You
Hmm.
went to Pace
Hmm.
University and you got a master's in
Hmm.
education and Empire
Hmm.
State College with a bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies and communications. So it sounds like you
Hmm.
have a lot of, wow, it's like such a well-rounded background, and then insurance, financial planning, travel agent, education, and tech. So kind of like
Hmm.
tell us, what your story, what your journey has been when it comes to moving abroad and now how you're people.
Wow. That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Yeah, like most of us, I've worked in a lot of different sectors. Um, I've been in tech, since I was 18 years old in some form or another. Yes, to the insurance agency, the brick and mortar agency in Vegas. But the abroad thing, that came, I would say I really, really started taking it serious around 2018 is when I just, really threw caution to the wind. I sold my house at that time, started like just really pressing reset on my life and really started traveling extensively. And some of the people that's on the summit can relate to this when you just get to a point where you go, life is short and you have one go at it. And so whatever it is you're thinking about doing that in your heart you really want to do, if you're not doing it, there's probably not a good enough excuse as to why you're not doing it.
I agree. Does anybody
Okay.
resonate with that? Put me in the chat because I think that hits hard. We our days are numbered and we don't know when it's up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you had that
Excuse me.
realization.
Yeah.
How
You start not having a good enough excuses for yourself. And yeah, so you just figure out how to, whatever you have to move around in your life in order to live your life the way you want to live it, you just do it. You just do it. And actually, before COVID hit, I was actually planning to leave permanently. Yeah, I had everything in motion, everything was set, and I was going to settle down in Spain. And I came back to the States about a month or so before the COVID shutdown and got caught in the COVID shutdown.
Wow.
Back in the States. Yeah, yeah. So needless to say, by coming back to the States, my monthly income was almost 4 times what I was spending in Barcelona.
Wait, can you repeat that one more time just so people can hear that? That is ridiculous. And this is why I love this summit, because we're going to share with you guys the real ish. Like
Prior
really
to COVID, when I was, doing a lot of traveling, I got an apartment. I settled down for a while in Barcelona. My expenses at that time in Barcelona was 1,100 euro for my rent, everything included, cable, everything. My cell phone bill for myself and my son, unlimited, was 35 euro for both lines. Transportation was around, I would say around 25 euro for every 2 weeks. Groceries, I was spending anywhere between 30 to 50 euro, maybe a week. We ate out a lot too. But nothing major. I only spent a lot of money on groceries when I went to the American store. Okay.
Oh, I remember that store, because this is funny, is Arnitha and I both lived in Barcelona. So for those of you that we have a love for Spain. I mean, we have a love for all countries, but we really like it. We lived there, both of us, for a long time. So if you guys specifically have questions about Spain or Europe, we're super happy to help you. And then Jennifer, Panama, I got you as well there too. I'm working with a client to help him get over to Panama on the pensionado visa, is what it's called, which is after 65, when you have your Social Security being paid out to you. So anyways, Arnitha, tell me more about, okay, so you were saying the 30 to 50 for groceries.
So everything is I'm thinking I'm going to come back to the States and only be in the States for like 3 months and then go back. And my being stuck in California, my rent was $2,500 a month with nothing included. Okay.
You basically in Spain, in Barcelona, had your expenses, let's say, under like 2,000 a month.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Easy.
That was
easy.
my.
I had never experienced my money staying in my bank account so long. Like, you get a deposit and it can stay there.
Yeah. It's literally, it's not a cliche. Like, it's literally like you're living like a queen.
Yeah, that's it. It's, there's a, and fast forward to now, I talk to a lot of people that's in my ecosystem. There's two categories of people that really think this live abroad thing is possible. And it's the people that can go on the retirement visa, right? Because it's a very easy visa in most countries around the world. Or it's students, because the student visa is another very easy visa. But then there's everybody in the middle who doesn't want to wait. Okay. And then, as we know, everything is shifting in the workplace and around the world. Everything is shifting. They don't want to wait. And so the people that are in my ecosystem are the people in the middle. Okay. And one myth is that your life is going to be harder when you leave. And it's the opposite. It's actually the opposite. If I could go inside everybody's brain and really stress that, it's really the opposite. Besides the fact of you de-stress, you certainly de-stress, just in how your expenses and how you navigate your life, everything becomes very simple. Yeah. Very simple.
Definitely.
Right. And you know that, Shauna.
So
You know that.
simple. The life,
Yeah.
and then the way that they live, like you know, it's a lot slower pace. So you actually go out with friends and go take a stroll. There's no set restaurant or tapa bar that we're going to, but we know we're going to one, but we don't have to have it set in stone. We're kind of just like, let's go for a stroll and see which restaurant
Right.
with the terrace calls our name. And then you sit and you have
Right.
tea or coffee or a glass of wine with tapas.
Yeah.
And it's just it's nice to have this balance. And I think that's
Yeah.
what initially called me
Yeah.
over there, is just the change of culture, the change of pace. What about
Yeah.
you? Like, what was
And
your,
and siesta was something that I had to get used to be around a culture that really understands work-life balance. Like the idea of them leaving their house in the morning and not seeing their kids until the evening. That's not a concept that they know. It's just not a concept. And so, siesta or lunchtime is not 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour. Siesta, you will see if you're not in a tourist area, you will see the shades go down
yeah, and
on
the shops
the
close
shops. Oh,
between.
that's what I mean when I said the
Okay, that's what
shade.
you meant. Okay, okay. With the shops. I thought you meant like people's apartments, like they're putting
No,
the dark blinds on.
no. I meant
The
I
shade.
meant the businesses. I meant the
Okay.
businesses.
Yeah.
They will literally, close it down because it's time for a break.
Yeah. Now,
And they're
Caro in the chat, Arnitha has a question for us. Why Spain over South America or the Caribbean? For the cost of living and access to a property, for example. If I could just chime in really quick. For me, Caro, I like all countries. I'm going everywhere. Been to Peru, done the whole thing. My thing is safety. As a woman, you do not feel more safe than in Europe. That's just bottom line for me. You can walk from the metro at 4 a.m. home. Like, let's say you had drinks with friends, and yes, you guys were out till 4 a.m. You can walk home safely at night. The metros are running all night. Everybody takes the metro. Everybody's walking around. It's safe. Like, it's hard to explain, but you can look at the stats. And I do this in the Move Overseas Now Club, which is the exclusive community. We go over all of this. We go over some of your guys' hesitations. We really figure out like, what's the country for you? But I present like things in the trainings. And one of the things I love to show you guys is really the difference of like, do you know the murder rate in the US is like drastically, like this is like relative in terms of, I know there's more people in the US, but the percentages, like I've done the percentages, so much higher. The kidnap rape in the US is so much higher. You go to these other countries like Portugal and Spain, they are just, I don't want to say non-existent because they are existent, but it's not anywhere near what we're facing in the US. So, this is my take on it. Arnitha, what about you?
So for me, I think where you choose to go is such a personal decision.
Yeah.
It's so personal. Now, while I have hundreds of places on my list that I want to visit, when it comes to the places that I would consider settling down, there's a couple of things I have to factor in, like what kind of environment do I really want to live in? I tend to look above the equator. And the reason why I look above the equator is because I have a deep-seated fear of reptiles, and more reptiles live below the equator. These are things that are very personal. You have to think about a lot of things that are personal to you on why you would consider a country to settle. So I think of the environment. I think of the ecosystem that is there and what I think I may not want to encounter. Okay. I think of the healthcare system is super important to me.
Mhm.
Safety is paramount because, I travel solo. The
Yeah.
majority of the time, I'm traveling solo. Not how gender equality is super, 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 super important to me. Um, how a place is just intolerance as well. So I also look at the tolerance index. A few years ago, I actually mapped out countries that were only on the Peaceful Nation Index. Okay. I wanted to visit countries that were on the Peaceful Nation Index because I wanted to know what it felt like to live somewhere where everyone wasn't carrying a gun, where the violence wasn't there. And I wanted to know and breathe that air and know what that felt like. That's hugely important to me. And like Shauna said, yeah, I go where I feel extremely, and I know it's really safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to touch on the healthcare, because I know the topic of this chat, just in case you guys didn't know, we're talking international real estate and healthcare. So could we talk a little bit, Arnitha, about, let's talk about the healthcare first, because I know
yeah,
our insurance.
So, when you buy your tickets at the end of the flight, there's always like a box to check off if you want to add on your travel insurance. So let me just say, I'm not talking about that type of travel insurance. I'm talking about travel medical, travel health, which is more comparable to what we have when we have our comprehensive healthcare. Okay. And it's more important even now post-COVID because a lot of countries require that you are carrying your own insurance. Okay. Now, one of the misconceptions is that it's expensive because when we think of healthcare, we think of United States prices. Okay. If you're not adding on a US component to your travel medical, then it is super, super affordable outside of the US. What's the difference in it? Because your travel, that box that you can tick after you buy your ticket, that travel insurance does say that it includes medical, but it only includes emergency. So if on a trip you break your leg, you can go into the emergency room. The travel medical, on the other hand, means you can go into not just the emergency room, but you can make an appointment to see a doctor. You can go into a private hospital, which in January, I actually had to use mine in Spain. I had an issue. Had an issue with my knee and I had to go to the hospital. And it doesn't have to be an emergency situation with the travel medical. It also covers your medications and a bunch of other things that it covers as well. But it works a little closer to how our healthcare works in the States, more comprehensive than just quote unquote the travel insurance that's on that little checkbox that you have. Okay. Now, a question that I get, not so much as much as I did in the beginning. Some people would say, like in certain countries, they would go, oh, well, the healthcare is so cheap. Like, I don't need to have anything on top of that. And for, like one-offs, that may be the case. And if the country is not requiring it, maybe that is okay. But if you have to go in for something that's not, minor, it's better to have yourself covered. And most of my clients always go with zero deductibles because the premiums are so cheap. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the plans that you would recommend for people? Like what are those? And do you have access to them? And
I lean heavily. My preferred carrier is IMG. If they go to my website, arnithawebb.com, and you click on the button right at the top, you can quote yourself and get whatever you need. IMG is my preferred carrier. Okay. They keep their premiums very comparable per country, as opposed to some of the other carriers may have like a flat fee that's sort of carrying across, so no matter what country you go to, which can be very unbalanced. Yeah.
Awesome. So I've just put that in the link. Is there any restrictions on the insurance based on age? I think me and you were having a chat about that.
Yes.
with age?
Yes, 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 yes. And it depends on which, it does depend on which policy though. Because travel medical is a little different from the travel health. 72, I believe, is where they're capping right now.
Okay, 72, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for that
Mm-hmm.
question, Doug. And as we go, feel free to ask
Mm-hmm.
more questions, okay? We
Mm-hmm.
have 5 more minutes.
Another thing I want to quickly mention regarding the insurance is that if you are thinking about really expatting outside of the US, okay, and you already have your life insurance. Now, I'm not talking about the medical or health insurance. I'm talking about the life insurance, okay? You definitely want to contact your insurance carrier and just make sure that, God forbid, if something happens to you while you're abroad, especially if you're moving with the beneficiary, like the beneficiary is your spouse. If they were to make a claim, both of you are outside of the country, let's say you pass away, your beneficiary is making a claim for a payout, you want to kind of ask them about how that's going to work before you leave. Because in some countries, there is a huge delay in the beneficiary receiving that money. So you want to ask some questions. If you don't have life insurance and you need expat insurance, okay? Expat insurance, of course, is going to cover you worldwide, give or take a handful of countries that we all would probably go, yeah, well, of course, not there, right? But your expat insurance is gonna be it's gonna be like term insurance, not whole life or not universal life. It's gonna be a term policy, okay, if it's an expat policy.
Okay, got it. So that's interesting. Is that also on your website? And what's the best thing for people to do? Should they email you about all these different options?
Yeah, I still do 20-minute consults. So you can easily book a consult with me.
Okay.
I know my time is getting, it's like stretching. Even Shauna knows, like, okay, her time is getting.
Oh, she's busy and she's still helping everybody out. Like, you sent me oh, by the way, did you get that apartment filled in London?
No, it's still available.
Oh, so if you guys, let's see if anybody needs
Yes.
an apartment in London for £1,200 a month.
So yeah, it's actually taking over someone else's lease. They have 6 more months. So if you want to come and spend the summer in London, I already sent Shauna all the information. It's in a co-share, co-working space building. The link, Shauna has the link, it's called The Collective. Yeah, it's available. She's yeah.
Awesome. Well, maybe if they can reach out to you about that. I put your email. Now I want to shift to property, guys. So Arnitha, she covers both the insurance side of things for expats, for digital nomads, and kind of like hooking you guys.
Can I mention something that's that you don't even know about yet?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Announcement.
Cool. Do it.
Okay. Just launched my AI platform. Okay.
Okay.
And I didn't even send this to Shauna yet, so this is hot off the presses, guys.
Woo.
FoxyTechX.app. FoxyTechX.app.
So put it in the chat. Can you put it in the chat?
Okay.
Or I can, if you spell it one more time, I'll be ready. Go ahead.
Type it in.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me.
FoxyTechX.
X.app. Okay, FoxyTechX.app.
Cool. Now, if anybody go set up a free account, guys. It's a free account. Go set up a free account. But if you send me a DM and just put Shauna's name, okay, our digital summit in, I will change the account to an enterprise account. So it'll always, you'll see what the difference is in the accounts. So you'll have it forever and a day, even as it's growing and upgrading, you'll have an enterprise account. Okay, so set up the free account now and just DM me with Shauna's name so that I can change your status.
Okay, what is the app? Tell us about it.
So, like I was saying earlier, everyone in my ecosystem, they're in that middle bracket. And the focus is more on how to increase their income, how to increase their income, how to increase their productivity so that they can make the moves faster. They don't want to wait until they're eligible for the retirement visa, okay? And so that's taking up more and more of my time. And basically, if I had to say it just in one sentence, if you want to increase your productivity, AI is going to help you do it.
Amazing. And is that with the business? Is that with your life?
It's up business.
Okay, got it.
Business
Cool.
or work, yeah.
Which sounds awesome. Congratulations. Cool.
Thanks.
Well, we put it in the chat. And if I can, Arnitha, I'd like us to cover a little bit of the property and investment and buying a home in Europe specifically. Guys, if you have any questions about buying homes in Europe,
I would say, in terms of down payments, you can have as low as 4,000. I would say between 4 and 15, depending on the value of the property. Of course, the higher you go, the more of a deposit you have to have, of course. Depending on if it's a finished property or if it's scaled out a while, will determine whether or not you're going, like how you're going to do your payment structure. If you are going to go a mortgage route, or if you're going to just do what I call the layaway route.
I love that. Tell them about this business that you have in the South, in Spain, and the partners you work with and all that.
Okay, so my business partners that are on the ground there, they've been there forever, and they actually do the property management side as well. So let's say you go there and you buy something that's off property. When you're buying off property, you're walking grounds that hasn't been broken yet, right? And you're looking at the models, okay? But you need somebody that's on the ground, that's staying on top of the process while you're back in the States, okay? So that's what they're doing. They're on the ground, they're making sure, because Spain is very strict. They're very, very, very strict. So these builders have a lot of checks and balances and a lot of deadlines they have to meet. But the team that I have there, they're, sending you the photos back, giving you the videos, walking through, on FaceTime with you so that you can, see like the stages that everything is happening at, to make sure that, any of the customizations that you want, that you've requested are being adhered to. If they don't meet, like at every milestone, if they don't meet the criteria, like you don't sign off on them to even continue. Like it's very, very strict, and they have like all these different milestones that they have to hit throughout the process, throughout the building process. And if this is something that you want to use as an investment, my team will also, do the holiday rentals for you, or the long-term rentals, however you want to work your investment.
Nice. So tell us, is it mainly Spain that you work with right now?
Yes, coast of Spain, mainly the coast. Alicante, Costa del Sol, Costa Blanca.
Okay. Is there any Canary Islands? Because one person in the chat asked if you do Canary Islands.
I do not. I do not.
Okay. But I can get you in touch with somebody, whoever asked that question. If you just you join the Move Overseas Now Club, that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing in there, is doing live trainings. And I'm going to be connecting you with people on the ground, because I have people in Spain, Portugal, Panama. I mean, you name it, Dubai, Israel, all over the world, essentially. So join the Move Overseas Now Club, and I'll get you guys all of that that information. And it's a great way to network. I mean, you can't do things on your own. You really do.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this, is we're
Yeah.
together, we're sharing, we're
Yeah.
doing this in community, and then you're going to get a
Yeah.
buddy as well. So if you guys haven't gone that,
Yeah.
I would highly suggest that you do it. All of us that moved
Yeah.
abroad, we had to figure this out, but you had to have a support group too. There's some sort of program or a group of women travelers that you did this with to really get you going. So at
But
least
it was so much harder. It was so much harder. I would say having a community is everything, because when I was doing my research, and I was just looking for information from everywhere. I remember one time I went on a binge and I was joining like a lot of Facebook groups, and I don't know about anybody else, but when I'm focused on something, I'm focused on it, and I don't want all the distraction. I don't. I just want like real tangible information. And it was really hard. It was really, really hard. So yeah, if you can get in the community and be able to network with people that you can actually even go meet, because I know there were times where when I would be somewhere and I would really try hard to meet up with someone that I had seen online, that we were conversing with online, and you get to the country and it's like, can we at least meet up and have tea or do something? And they're nowhere to be found, and you start wondering, like, were they real? Like I don't even know if they were real, but I make myself available. Shauna makes herself available. And that's the beauty. That's why whenever, and this was a hard week for me, Shauna will tell you, but whenever she asks about anything, I'm like, my answer is like, yes, because I know what she's trying to do. And that's what we need. We need real people with real experiences, not just the IG picture perfect side of it. Right?
Yeah,
No.
definitely. I totally agree. We're speaking the same language. So as it pertains to property, so tell us what some of the options are. Tell us like price points, and then the whole layaway thing.
Yeah.
And then we're going to switch over because I get to go next.
So the condos for condo style is the wider price point. Okay. You can go as low as 150 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay. All the way up to in the millions. I mean, it's a wide range, and you will find something really nice in your price range. Like I said, like 150, and it's beautiful, and I call it putting yourself in the postcard, because it's like postcard pretty out there. And as far as like she said, like the layaway part, like it depends on what the completion date is. So if your completion date is set out to 2025, 2026 or whatever, they will actually map out a whole schedule for you. And so you go, okay, 4,000 in 6 months, 10,000 in 6 months, another, like you just like map it out. And if you just make that those pay dates, and they're usually 6 months apart, 4 to 6 months apart, then by the time your completion date is there, guess what? It's paid for.
Wow. Awesome. I love that. So a lot of Americans are doing that. It's like a 2 to 3 year plan. Does anybody know that they want to move over to Spain specifically in 2 to 3 years? Or are some of you considering it, or considering Europe? Put me in the chat, just so we kind of get a feeling. 2 to 3 years, maybe 4. Okay, awesome. Madrid or Barcelona, awesome. Yeah. Oh, you
and
just
maybe if it's enough in your group, we put together like a scouting trip or something.
Oh, for sure. So that's kind of like the perks of like, if you guys join the Move Overseas Now community, which is starting on April 30th, and you get 1 month access to it if you get the replays, which is only $47. Basically, we're going to be putting together a bunch of cool stuff. There's going to be calls like this with experts, but there's also live training calls with me. There's networking, there's connections. I'm putting you with actually a buddy so you guys can be accountable. And then from there, we can continue to create. We can do in-person retreats. We can do scouting trips. And so there will be a lot of benefits. And like I said, it's only $47. You can get in there, get a taste of what it's like. And I think that's a really good idea, Arnitha, to do the scouting trips. I've
Yeah.
done that already with friends and family, brought them over to
Mhm.
Spain. And I mean, there's just so many things that are so different from here, How do I get my SIM card? I mean, it's literally things that will that will drive you crazy. How do I put everything
Yeah.
together? How do I
Yeah.
find a contact so I can get a $1,200 per month rental while
Yeah.
I'm waiting to buy? And
Yeah.
I need to prove, like, I'm working with a lender right now for Spain.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
he wants to see X amount from the past 2 years for my business, right? So we're
Mhm.
setting that all up so that everything on paper looks good for when you want to get a mortgage. And you can get a mortgage as a foreigner. There
Oh,
are,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody else have
Mhm.
any other questions about property specifically before we actually hand it over?
I'm looking at my little picture up there. It seems like I look really dark, and it's so light in here. I don't know why it's looking so
The
dark.
light is coming on you, so
Oh.
I can see you, but it's
Oh,
getting
okay.
dark there. I see.
Yeah.
What time is
Yeah.
it over there?
It is. It is 8:30.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Well, anybody have any other last minute questions? Feel free to raise your hand, and I'll bring you off mute, or feel free to pop them in the chat.
Mhm. Read them off for me, because I'm looking at you on my phone and it's so tiny. I don't have
Okay,
one.
let's see here. Question: what do you do with all your stuff if you're moving back and forth every 3 months? Are you getting furnished apartments or just taking clothes?
I'm not. Okay. Okay. So right now, all of my stuff is packed to be moved abroad right now. I don't plan on coming back.
Wait, it's where? It's in.
All of my stuff this time when I left, I packed with a shipper that will ship my stuff abroad.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so this is the one that I'm not going back and forth.
Okay, awesome. Hope that
Yeah.
answers your question. Yeah, Kristen, like, definitely, storage, you can have them in storage in your home country, get rid of your lease or your home, or put your
Mhm.
home on Airbnb, or get a permanent tenant, put
Mhm.
all your stuff in
Mhm.
storage, go check out. I call it a taster. So, like, go on the
Mhm.
tourist visa, go for 3 months, check it out, see if you like it, or you could
Mhm.
just pull the plug and plan it out 6 months in advance, get the D7 visa, which is Portugal, get the what's now going to be the digital nomad visa of Spain, or you can do student visas, which they've just,
Mhm.
you know this, Arnitha. I just talked to
Mhm.
a Spanish lawyer who I have a partner in Barcelona.
Mhm.
If anybody needs to work
Mhm.
on their visas there, if you
Mhm.
study, this is really cool. If you
Okay.
study at the Cervantes Institute, which is the Spanish,
Mhm.
like the really famous Spanish school, if you
Mhm.
study there for 1 year and you
Mhm.
complete your studies, you can then
Mhm.
now convert that into a work visa. This never
Mm.
happened before. They used to make you
Hmm.
do it for 3 to 5 years. So this is another
Yeah.
route that's very interesting for those that don't have the golden visa, $500,000, which is you buy property for 500K and then you get the residency. A lot
And
of,
a lot of countries are pulling back on the golden visa anyway.
yeah.
Mhm.
And there's so many other options now. So that's what's so beautiful.
It is.
So we're going to be
It
talking about
is.
this in
It
the
is.
Overseas Now Club. Sign up, guys, with the
Mhm.
VIP upgrade. There's another
Mhm.
question from S. Dixon.
Okay.
Arnitha, I'm a licensed agent here in the US. How do I convert to an international agent? I'm aiming for Germany. I'm also applying for property management positions. Do you have any tips?
Agent, what kind of agent? Insurance, or insurance, real estate? What kind of agent?
Tell us, Miss Dixon, S. Dixon, what kind of agent? Insurance or real estate? She's property, she said.
Property. Okay, whatever country you're looking at going to, you're going to have to look to see what their requirements are. Okay. In Germany, because Germany is a very, what's the right word? They're very paper intense, very, so whatever country it is, and if you're looking to transfer a license over or in some kind of way do that particular profession, you're going to have to look to see what that country requires for that profession. I definitely don't have the answers for that one. It's so country specific.
But like what you're doing, like how did you make that happen, And maybe you guys can talk offline about that. Send Arnitha, how about this? Send Arnitha an email and maybe you guys can schedule a call. I can only see it says S. Dixon, so I apologize. I can't see what your first name is, but
yeah, on my
email.
website, they can book a consult.
Okay, let's do that. So go to her website. Thank you so much for coming here, Arnitha. And you guys have her info, reach out. Arnitha, by the way, I think the free gift, the 2023 giveaway promo code, I'm not sure if it's so afterwards, can you check and
I'll check the date. Okay.
And send it to me. And I'm going to be sending you guys out via email.
Okay.
Arnitha,
okay.
Thank you. And
alrighty.
Are you still okay to flip roles here?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, she's gonna interview me now, which is really fun. And you guys, there's 30
I got some notes.
After this, hang around, become VIP. There's 30 minutes after this where we're gonna do live Q&A, just with me. You can bring any of your questions, your visa, starting a business. I have 2 businesses, FYI, living abroad coaching, as well as the web design and social media. So I'm kind of like, I know how to create stuff. Same with Arnitha. But if you guys get that VIP upgrade, it's going to come with that. It's going to come with 1 hour strategy call with me, which you can book anytime this week. So go ahead and book that. And then also the 1 month access to the Move Overseas Now Club. Go ahead, Arnitha. What do you want to ask me, girl?
Okay. Let's just piggyback off of what you just said. Okay. You have the 2 businesses, the social media side and the coaching side. What's the question? How are you merging the 2
together?
Okay, so that it makes your life work, because you're,
to kind of give everybody a background. Okay, so I started, the whole corporate life, everything in the US, and I was just sick and tired of having to do the 9 to 5, having to report to somebody, not having control of my destiny. The reason why I joined this company, which was an international company headquartered in the Woodlands, Texas. Anybody know the Woodlands? It's north of Houston. Really, really awesome, like oil and gas company. I was in HR. I was also in marketing, doing some really cool stuff. But I joined that company because they told me that they would place me in Dubai for my second or third rotation for a year. So that didn't happen. And so I was like, all right, I'm gone. I'm going to go live this dream on my own, because I don't want other people to dictate what my life is going to be. And I've always had a passion. Once you go, you guys, once you go do that taster for like 3 months,
it's true.
You're going to be so inspired, and the cultures and the people and the way they treat you and just the connections you make. And so that really resonated with me when I came back to America after studying abroad and worked in corporate. So I left, I did a master in Barcelona, Spain. That was my path to visa, permanent visa status in Spain. My plan was to study for 3 years. They've changed it now. Now at certain universities and certifying bodies, you can do 1 year and then convert it. And as long as you have a job offer from a company, they will give you the work and residency permit. So this is insane. But anyways, then I met my husband, Dan, and he's actually Spanish. So we did this other visa thing called Pareja de Hecho. Now that's really a good option if you do end up meeting your lover abroad. That's always a route. Now that's not predicted. I had another plan. My other plan was to do the student visa route. But to kind of I'm getting somewhere to answer your question, FYI.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
when you have a student visa, which I did, I ended up, I was English teaching under the table, which pays very well. I was
Mhm.
also working for a company part-time. So from
Mhm.
8 till 3, I was working for one of the top CEOs in Spain as a marketing um, rep. And I
Mhm.
was working in Spanish and English, got my Spanish skills really, really good. And I had a really intense neck injury. And I was like, oh my God, I used to do CrossFit. I don't know anybody like CrossFit in here or intense workouts. Um, After that happened and I had the neck injury, I was like, I need to learn how to make money online because I can't take the train. This hurts. It's literally, I don't know if you guys have a herniated disc, but it's in
Mhm.
my neck, excruciating pain. I was like, I really need to figure this out. So I started watching YouTube videos. I was in so much pain. I made a standing desk for myself at home while I was recovering
Wow.
from the herniated disc. My
Yeah.
husband, so much, you have no idea. I couldn't even lift up. I have this water jug. I couldn't even lift up the water jug to pour myself water. That's how much pain it was. I thought I was going to have to get surgery, but thank God they were able to give me like rehab and some different exercises so I could recoup the neck. But
Mhm.
this is what's so interesting is you can take a struggle, a problem, and you can turn it into something magical. So from
Yeah.
just this issue I had, I pivoted, I problem solved, started watching YouTube videos, and then I
Mhm.
taught myself how to do web design. And then I started going after my first client while living in Spain. It's so much greater to start a business while you're in Spain. And I was actually, this is a trick, I was using my family's address back in the US. So
Mhm.
that's how I created the LLC. So there's a lot of
Okay.
different, and Suzanne says, I feel your pain. I had that neck problem for 10 years. Yes, it's
Wow.
a big deal. Like, life hits you hard sometimes and you got to
Yeah.
pivot. So it's all about like, how are you guys going to pivot? How are you guys going to have some fire underneath you and just, push through and see what is it? What's the possibility? What can I create? And so
So.
that's what I did was the web design and the social, and
Mhm.
fully started growing it. My focus was primarily American clients, of course, because
Mhm.
there's a lot more disposable income. You have a lot more going on. The economy is a lot better. And I'm also from here, from LA, and I'm
Mhm.
currently in LA right now. And how
Mhm.
am I merging the two? So then, I'm doing the web design and the social media, which is great. I love it. But
Mhm.
is there
Mhm.
really, you guys can literally create any business based on what you do good at. What is your life
Yeah,
experience?
for
And how can
sure.
I turn that into serving people? So here's the thing is while I had my web design business and COVID hit and we had so much free time, I was like, I want to create videos. It's always been a passion of mine to share. I have all these experiences just like you, Arnitha. Like we've been traveling,
Mhm.
figuring it out with the visas, with the property, with rental, with living
Mhm.
life this way that we really want to live. And how can we share that with people? So the start of this
Yeah.
business, which is Move Overseas Now, and just really being a stand for those that really want to go abroad and helping impact you guys, helping motivate. Like this free summit, we had Lauren last summit. This was so powerful for her. She has already told her boss that in July she's moving to Italy. She's literally,
Oh, yeah, I spoke to her.
yeah,
Yes.
she's doing it. She's working with me. We're working together
Yeah.
to help her grow her business. She figured out that she wants to do Ayurvedic coaching. So she
Yeah.
wants to help people with their health to improve on the inside. And
Mhm.
she's going all in and she's moving to Italy. The cost of
Mhm.
living is way, way less. Meanwhile,
Mhm.
we're going to be growing her business and she's doing all the branding and everything right now. So there's
So
so
let me
much
ask you
you guys
this.
can do. Yeah.
Why do you think, in this day and time, like, where we are right now,
Yeah.
why do you think now more people, especially like I said earlier, people in the middle, that middle age bracket, it's not just for the retirees anymore. Why do you think now is really, really important for people to get the information that they need to make this happen?
It's so important for all of you that are watching right now, the 76 of you that are still here. I know it's late. You guys have powered through, and I'm honestly so grateful that you guys are here. Because this is an impactful thing. sometimes we fall back in our old habit loops. And it's so important for you guys to hear this information now so that it can light a spark so that you can go and change. And when you go and change, you have a ripple effect on the other people that you come across. This is not just for you.
It's
When
not
you go
right.
through this, you're going to make an impact in your family. Maybe your family's going to, when you move abroad with your kids, they're going to have a different experience. They're going to learn history in a new way. You're impacting a lot of different humans. Also, your friends, maybe your friends have been stuck in the same job for 20 years. They're going to see you do this huge shift and they're going to see possibility. I mean, it's not just you, you're going to help people as well,
Yeah.
your journey. And the other thing is you're going to get unstuck. So whatever stuck that you are in, this is the fire, and this is the beauty of like the Move Overseas Now Club and what we're doing starting April 30th, and as well as this summit, is just, you need the momentum and you have to keep moving forward. You can't just come
Yes.
to this summit and not do anything.
Right.
I mean, that's, at least you did some virtuous action and came here. But
Yeah.
what are you doing now to put it in motion? Do you have
Mhm.
buddies? Do you have accountability partners? Do you have a coach that's helping you?
That's
Do you have
true.
somebody to come to where they're answering your questions within 24 hours? They're finding you the solutions. They're putting you in contact with people on the ground. Like, do you have somebody in your, what do you call it?
In your ecosystem,
In your
in your
ecosystem, or just like
tribe.
in your pocket. That's the word I
Yeah.
was looking for.
Okay. Mhm.
Somebody in your back pocket where you can be like, hey, I'm stuck. This is happening. I don't know what the heck to do. I'm really frustrated. I want to give up. I mean, that's being vulnerable. For people. We have to get rid of the ego. We have to get rid of the layer of like, I'm this tough person that can do everything.
Yeah.
And reach out for help. My favorite thing about doing this is connection. My favorite thing is when you guys, the speakers, we hand off. I love introducing you guys because who knows what's going to happen. Maybe you guys are going to create a cool program, or maybe some of these people I've already been seeing, people have been sharing their LinkedIn, and somebody from Montreal is having problem. Look, that's like 2 people from this chat that are now going to help each other. I mean, that's
so
what
that's
the
what
Overseas Now Club is about, is we're helping.
That's what it's about. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was gonna say, because yeah. So so the Overseas Club is gonna be a central point that you can get the answers and you can get the connections and you can get the resources
and the accountability.
and the accountability.
This is the
Because
other.
it's not easy. It's possible, but it's not easy. And you have days that are,
Oh, it is not easy. You know it. And sometimes just having that call with your buddy or with me, like, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. I can't find any appointments for Portugal. I'm giving up. Okay. That was like, I've heard that before. Guess what? I've been up planning this 14, like I've been working like 15-hour days before this summit to just, make sure everything's all set up and make sure you guys have a good experience. But I was like, I'm going to check. It was 1 a.m. in LA. I said, let me go check the Portugal, VFS. That's the third party that takes the bookings. I said,
right.
Go check it right now. Guess what? They had appointments. I was like, I literally messaged my clients. I was like, girl, there's an appointment right now for July 7th. Do you want me to get it for you? You have to pay a $40 fee. So I didn't want to step too far over her toes, but I sent it to her and we're going to see how we can get her an appointment. This is what I'm talking about, is like, let me get this, like, if we need to get the appointment, you guys give me the authority to do that. Like, boom, let's just do it, because I'm going to keep you guys.
Things are so, and things are always changing. There was a question in the chat earlier when your last speaker was on, where someone asked about how to find out about the restrictions, the COVID restrictions, and if there are any more or whatever. And first of all, these are moving parts, guys. These are moving parts. And even sometimes with something that you think you know, because maybe you looked into it a month ago.
Right.
Okay. When you can have a group of like-minded people, you can just be a little more certain that your information is going to be up to date and that you're hearing about it. Because like Shauna just mentioned about the change in that particular student visa in Barcelona. Now I'm totally up on all the changes with the digital nomad visa, but I didn't know about that one.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like when you're in a group that's meeting every 2 weeks like this, if you guys are really serious
mhm,
about moving abroad, you have to be serious about
mhm,
moving abroad. I mean,
mhm.
this isn't like, oh, I want to do it. I mean, yeah, it can be. I'm going to push you to make it a reality, but it's for serious people that want to do it and want to soak up the information. But this is what I'm saying is like, I literally just was on the phone with my lawyer, who's a friend and a partner in Barcelona. And we were
Mhm,
talking about this. She gives me updates. She's going to come in
mhm.
and share some of the other routes. And then, by the way, if you guys did want to work with a lawyer in Spain, which I would highly recommend, it's so much easier than having to
Oh
translate
yeah,
all that. Like
yeah.
when I did it when I was in Spain, it was like 600. And that gave
Mhm,
me my permanent residency.
mhm.
It's just
It's worth
insane.
it.
The comparables, because we're doing my husband's here in the US
Mhm.
to get him his stuff situated. We had to pay our lawyer 10 grand. I mean, total cost of everything, right? I mean, it's it's like the fiance visa type thing. It's $6,000 for the lawyer here in America. And then you got the fees to the USCIS, which is, the government body that handles all the immigration
Yeah,
stuff. And each of those filing fees for each of the applications you have to
yeah,
turn. There's like 5
yeah,
applications.
yeah,
So it's a bunch of stuff. Plus the
yeah.
printing fees, the lawyers are going to charge you for the printing fees. So you guys really do have it made. We're going to hook you up with contacts on the ground. And same thing with Arnitha. Like she's got contacts on the ground. You can come
Mhm,
into the Overseas Now Club, share what's going on
mhm,
in the space of, property, things like this.
mhm,
So what
mhm,
other questions
mhm.
do you have?
So
Anybody else can jump in and ask?
I I I'm so excited about the overseas club.
Yeah,
So I'm like, what? I didn't even know it was all of that.
yeah. It's gonna be off the chain. I give extra value everything I do. If you guys don't know,
Unbelievable.
D1 volleyball player over here, went to Washington State University, played for the Pac-12. I'm kind of a perfectionist, so it's sometimes bad because you will work until things are like exactly the way you want them.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
just to give you a background, like I just want to make sure everybody gets supported and helped and personalized
mhm,
guidance and literally going the extra
mhm,
mile to connect people with people. So another thing,
mhm,
one of the people that's in one of my coaching containers is we're creating her a business. Okay. She's
mhm,
leaving her nursing job. And it doesn't even have to be related to what I do because I know marketing and networking. So we have a
mhm.
plan. She's getting her certification to become a legal nurse consultant. Okay. I don't know if you guys knew about this. Registered nurses you can work for yourself and then this frees up everything and your pay increases to like 150, 200 an hour. By being a legal nurse consultant, you work for attorneys. So you get like 3 to 4 different attorney clients. And I'm doing the networking for her. I already have people in my network that are attorney clients that are going to hire her when she's done with her certificate. So it's just sometimes we need that
I may can give you some contacts
for
with
attorney.
on the law firm side for her.
Awesome. That would be great. So this is what it's all about is like you jump on the call. What's going on with this person? My client that's doing the
Yeah.
legal nurse consulting. All right, we filled one
Mhm,
attorney client. We need 3 more. Hey,
mhm,
oh, hey, my best friend's an attorney client. Oh, cool, perfect. Introduce us.
mhm,
It's
mhm.
that's how the world works. We're all connected. We live off of connections. So Diana,
How tell them, because I don't think I even know, how do we join the overseas club?
yeah. So first, it's in the VIP upgrade. So I know a lot of you have
Okay.
gotten it, but for those of you that haven't, I would definitely consider doing that because you're going to get all the replays from the summit. you're going to get 30-minute Q&A time right after now. I'm going to send you guys a separate Zoom link. So you guys, with all your questions that you have, you can literally get them answered today and tomorrow after the summit. You're going to get a 1-hour strategy call with me, which is normally $297. And then you're going to get access for 1 month into the exclusive community, which is the Move Overseas Now Club. And that's the initial, like, I mean, people that are committed, you know, I'm kind of hooking you guys up with this deal. It's normally like all this stuff I'm throwing in there is normally kind of like a $2,000 thing, but I'm only $37. So that's what this VIP upgrade is. So that's how you can get into the first call, which is on April 30th. Would love to see you guys, and let's keep moving forward.
Let me ask one last question.
Yeah.
What is the number one reason most people you say is the thing that stops them from taking the leap to move abroad?
They just get in their head. It's mindset completely. And I've been doing emotional mindset work since I was 15 because my mom's a hypnotherapist. So I've been around the self-help mindset, power of thoughts, power of belief area for a very long time. And my parents are both entrepreneurs. They didn't go to college. They went to the School of Hard Knocks. So I've seen what it takes to, like, my mom, for example, she's the president of an insurance company, which it would be interesting for you guys to connect. And then my dad had a really successful construction business. He's no longer with us, but here in LA, he did residential building. So it's like, I always saw my parents in that energy. So it's helped. So it's really nice, as I like to share that energy to get people in we gotta change that mindset. It's the negative thought. It's the balance, the devil and the angel. Are you going to let the devil be louder than the angel? We have to learn how to cancel those negative thoughts, or reverse them, and be more aligned with your vision. Like, what is your vision? How do you want to be feeling? How do you want to be living? And you have to check in that every day. And there is some mindset work that if one person, or if people are really struggling, that has to be a priority. There has to be a routine every day where you're waking up and you're doing something. You're listening to some positive affirmations that are specifically tailored to what you want to attract in your life. You're meditating. Maybe it's a yoga class for you, or maybe it's going to the gym, but your intention of going to the gym is it's your time for yourself, and you're getting realigned with that vision. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it. It doesn't have to be just meditating, being silent. It can be a walk and reminding yourself, or listening to a podcast, and just getting into that energy and setting goals for yourself. Like, all right, I'm going to book.
And it is a lot to be said for being real clear with your vision, being really clear with how you want your life to look, because once you become really clear with it, it's almost like you can't erase it. And I was one of those people. I was a skeptic of vision boards and all that. I was huge skeptic. And as a matter of fact, the very first time I did one, I really just did it to appease someone, to just kind of like get my friend to shut up. Okay. I was like, I'm not doing that. I was like, look, I don't do arts and crafts, whatever. Okay. But when I experienced the power of it, I never looked back. So I definitely understand what you're saying with the
about
mindset.
Vision, attached,
But knowing,
writing it down. I went back to Spain because we still have an apartment there, even though we're, doing this whole thing for my dad. He didn't have a will and everything. So I found my vision board from 2 years ago. Like, pretty much all of the things that were on there came true. I set monetary goals. I actually ended up creating a business with the person I said I was going to create a business with. I mean, there's a bunch of things actually happened, but I looked at it every day. I woke up, I looked at it, I kind of meditated on it a little bit each day, and it really happens. That's a good for the question. And Kelly has a question, and maybe we'll wrap this up in 5 minutes, guys. So if you haven't signed up also to win the free the giveaway for tomorrow, please fill out this form. there's a
I
giveaway.
want to there was one person, I saw it came up really fast because on the phone, the questions keep rolling. But someone just said, what if you don't have a clear vision yet? I want to answer that.
Yes, please.
If you don't have a clear vision yet, first of all, no one can give it to you. Okay. You have to spend time with yourself. You have to find, and I go back to something like Shauna said, it could be, taking a walk, it could be finding a place to sit that's peaceful. You have to spend time with yourself.
Correct.
Spend time with your own thoughts. Get a journal, write down pros and cons of what would you want in a perfect, like if you could remove every obstacle, just remove every single obstacle and act like there's no obstacles. What would you want your life to look like?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you couldn't fail.
Like, right. Just
Only
remove everything. No one can kind of do this work for you. You have to do that part of the work. Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing that I can promise you about it is that when you start doing that very personal work, it'll become so important to you that I don't care. Because I remember when I really first started doing it, I would have like maybe 30 minutes between like, getting off work and being home and starting dinner and the other. But I kind of eked out like 30 minutes. Like I would literally say, oh, I worked late, but I would really go somewhere and just sit. I found a place to just park my car, and my car was pointed in a direction where I wasn't really looking at people or whatever. I was just like looking at trees, and I would just take that 30 minutes in between leaving work and getting home. And that 30 minutes became so important to me because it was my time to just think and be with myself and be with my own thoughts and just kind of figure out who am I and what do I want.
Exactly.
And that time and space will become important to you, and you'll become clearer about what it is you want. When you get that vision, you won't be able to erase it.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be able to erase it. And I would even tell you, if you can, to take it even deeper, is to actually put yourself in your mind's eye where you want to be.
Correct.
Put yourself there to the point that you can smell whatever's in the air.
Correct.
You can feel the breeze. You're there physically, even though you haven't moved, you're there in your mind's eye. To the point that when you open up your eyes, it's like, oh, you got to refocus again.
Yep.
Bring that vision so close in. And then what you do is you sort of just engineer the steps to get there. And you get there so much faster.
Yep.
When you kind of know where you want to go, right?
It's imaginary. It's imagery. It's using imagery, Jen. And actually in the Move Overseas Now Club with the VIP upgrade, I will guide you guys through vision exercises. That's one of the main things. In order for you to figure out how you want your life to be, you have to have this vision. So there's lots of ways. So you don't have to worry about not being able to find that. We're here. We're going to be supporting you. And then there's some other questions, and then we're going to wrap this up. Hold on. We have one more question. It's actually really good. It's about the digital nomad visa. Diana, what is the digital nomad visa? Is it applicable all around the globe? So I can answer that. Yes, there are digital nomad visas in each country. Actually, tomorrow, guys, we're having a lot of talks about, actually one of our speakers, she was featured in BBC and Fast Money. She is a remote job coach, and she actually helped the country of Estonia create their digital nomad visa.
Ooh.
She was hired by Estonia to help create it. So this is going to be a really cool chat. And then, so to answer your question about the digital nomad visa, so Estonia, for example, has one. There's minimum, Spain has one. Portugal has one. Greece
Croatia.
has one. Like a lot of these countries are opening it up for digital nomad visa. And what's nice is they give you the option to extend in a lot of cases. And there is a pathway to permanent residency after that, and then citizenship. So this
A
is
lot of the Caribbean countries, too.
yeah. So there were some people that wanted to go to Caribbean. So what the digital nomad visa is, you have requirements for how much you need to make each month. So Estonia, I don't have it off the top of my head, but let's say it's 2,700 euro, around there. Spain, probably somewhere around 2,400 euro. You do have to prove that. So you're going to show your bank statements. They have a whole list of things to prove that. If you have your own business, that's the best option, because then you don't need a letter from the company. But if you're working for a remote job, you would need a letter. A lot of them do require that your company authorizes you to work abroad, and they sign it.
Yep.
And there's a couple other things. You need an FBI background check. That process can be anywhere from 6 weeks to a couple months, depending on how much you pay for it. If you pay for the FBI background check channelers, which are a couple $100, they can do it for you pretty quickly in a matter of weeks, versus you're going the old route. You also have to get the apostille, which is a very special stamp that allows you to go and have your FBI background check even allowed.
Translated. Yeah, they
submit,
translate it something.
Submitted to the consulate when you're turning in all of your documents. So all of this stuff, a lot of times you can apply in the US while you're living here or in your home country. A lot of them you can also apply in the country. So you can go there on your tourist visa, and then once you're there, you can apply. I believe Croatia, that can happen. And then Spain's will be able to do that.
Yeah.
So
and Panama, I think you can apply right in Panama.
Perfect. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. We're going to be going over all of this in the Move Overseas Now Club. So if you guys haven't upgraded, make sure you do that. And tomorrow we're going to have really awesome speakers. Let me just share with you guys who's going to be speaking and some of the topics. Make sure you tell your friends if you have any friends that you know that want to learn how to come live abroad. Seppi, founder of She Hit Refresh, she left at 35, obviously had a very established life. We're going to have Live and Invest Overseas, which is the #1 publication for living overseas. And we're going to be talking about, best places to live. Daniel Thompson from Noma Collective, which is another digital nomad kind of retreat community. And then Amalia and Eric, they live in Spain. They will be able to, they're like travel reps as well, which might be good for you to connect to, Arnitha. Avery runs a successful content business. So she builds people how to build profitable businesses. We have a lawyer chat at 10:30 a.m. PST. We're going to be talking about Portuguese visas. It's Almeida Diaz and Associados from Lisbon. They're coming on, and they're my law partner. So definitely, you guys.
Portugal is a hot spot.
Hotspot. Maddie, she's a solo female traveler. And then we're going to have Camila, who's an expat relocation expert. And then, yes, Kate, who was the BBC and Fast Money mentioned remote job coach, who also helped with the Estonia visa. She helped create that digital nomad visa. And then Jordan Carroll, he's also really into the remote workspace, and he's a remote job coach as well. So hope you guys are excited. Woo. Let us know in the chat if you enjoy.
It's a hot lineup.
Yeah, and for all the VIPs, I'm sending you guys an email in about 5 minutes with the new link so that we're going to continue this conversation. You'll be able to jump on live, and it's a more intimate setting. So come with your questions. I'm happy to answer anything. And if you haven't gotten the VIP, definitely get it, because you'll get all the replays and be able to jump in our live Q&A and get into the Move Overseas Now Club. Woo! Thank you, everybody.
I'm
Thank you,
telling you,
Arnitha.
it's amazing. Thank you.
Great. Okay.
Yes.
Love you so much. I can't wait to
Same
see
here
in person.
I know.
Okay.
I want to meet up in Dubai.
I know. I was just there, girl.
I know.
I know.
I can't get it out of my head. I want to meet up in Dubai.
Yeah, you have to go. And then you never told me, why are you in London?
I wanted to spend the summer here. With all this traveling, I always kind of fit London in for these pit stops, right? And this year, I don't know, this year I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do summer 2023 from London. Now, I do have some other trips planned out.
Okay.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna be going over to Kenya. I'm going to Lisbon. I want to throw in Dubai, but I'm gonna just use London as my base for the summer.
I love that. Oh my
Mhm,
gosh, cool.
mhm.
I'm so
Yeah.
inspired. I want to come visit you. And I forgot to give, this is my free gift. It's $1,000 in value. The first place winner is gonna get, and I announce the winners tomorrow. The first place winner is gonna get $100 travel gift card, and then a strategy call with me, and a 1 month into the exclusive community, which is the Move Overseas Now Club. And then the second place will be a travel bag and 1 month into the Move Overseas Now Club. And then the third place will be a surprise strategy call from one of the experts, and the 1 month into the exclusive community, which is the Move Overseas Now.
Woo!
Awesome. No, you just fill out the form once, and I have your info, and I'm going to randomly draw a winner at the end of the summit tomorrow. So
Can I tell you, I mean, I don't know how many people you have on here, but let me tell you guys something. This is what this community of us who have really been out here figuring it out on our own, this is what we needed. Like, I'm listening to her talk about this overseas club, and I'm just like, what?
yeah,
Let me tell you, when you're trying to figure it out and you're just, sometimes you're bumping your head, it's not going the way you want it or whatever, but you just keep going. It's like, this is what we needed. This is what we needed. Not, um, I don't know what to say, not just a lot of fluff. We needed the real connections,
oh,
and
and
it's priceless.
this propels people forward. The only thing is only 10% of people are actually going to go move abroad. So I mean, are you going to be the 10% or not?
Yeah,
It's totally
yeah,
up to you. Don't let yourself psych you
yeah.
out.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. The longer you wait, when you do go, you're gonna regret that you waited so long.
Right.
Okay. I knew I wanted to do this 30 years ago. Yeah, it was not news to me. I knew what I wanted. And I let a lot of excuses get in the way, and a lot of rationalization, and keeping other people happy and letting other people get in my head, and what have you. And you kind of take the leap, and you're like,
Yeah, I
like,
know.
I shouldn't have waited. I shouldn't have listened to nobody, you know, least of all someone who hasn't done it.
I know. It's so true. Well, we love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again for coming, and I hope you guys learned a lot. And see you guys soon. I'll see you all the VIPs right now. I'm gonna send out a link. We gotta jump over to that.
Ciao. Bye,
Ciao,
everybody.
Arnitha. Have a good evening and sleep well.
Thank
Have a good
you.
Saturday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Ciao
Bye.
for now.